But he had to come through 42 chapters before God help me right now to get this out. He had to come through 42 chapters before Job really got to the place where he could say beyond the shadow of a doubt that God was still God. But yet in chapter 1, he had to have some kind of inkling that even though he didn't like it, he did not understand it, but in the midst of losing everything, he did not sin or charge God foolishly. I'm not going to charge God because we have not broken ground in Cranberry. When we bought that property and we walked that property, you could not tell me that in 2010 we would not be in the church. But I want to thank and praise God for where we are now and where we're going to be. I'm not going to charge God foolishly. I know folk are talking, where's the church? How come we have not built? Thank God we did not build. We might be out on the street like so many other churches right now if we had done that and moved forward. Sometimes you got to thank God for what he stopped. I need you to tell 3 people, thank him for what he stopped. I feel something on me right now. I feel the need to talk to my accusers. I want you to know that the vision is still for an appointed time. For you that are pointing your fingers wondering where is the building, when we get there, please don't come, because you did not have the faith to believe that the God of the ages is still able. Whether it happens next year or the year after, the fact is it's your land and my land, and God knows. Somebody holler, God knows. And see, this is what gets you all tripped up, because you try to confine God to your agenda. Do I wish we were in that building? Yes! Does it get me a little ticked off that the mortgage is not paid off? Yes! But as I read about Robert Schuller and the Crystal Cathedral, God bless that man of God, and all those years of ministry, they have to sell off multiple properties and come off television. As I consoled a friend of mine south of here who foreclosed, his church was foreclosed on, and the marshals came and with guns and all, and the people and the press came, and the 33 years of ministry. 33 years of ministry, a church, a school, a baseball diamond, a man of God, and the people in the church that left the church, God help me in this moment, they begin to poison other people. I got no problem with people going to another church. Sometimes the grass is greener. Sometimes you can get a better word. I'm not the best preacher in the world. I'm not the best teacher in the world. May not be the best pastor in the world. We may not have the best choir in the world. You need to go where the Lord is leading you. But let me help you understand. Don't poison other folk that are still here. The Lord rebuke you, and God will come against you, and you will not be blessed. Go if you want to go. But I got a problem when you try to take people with you and try to reach back into a good church, a solid church, a stable church, and then you get folk out of the church, and then 5 months later, they're back on crack. They're beating their wife. They're back on the bottle. They've left God. We don't have no monopoly on God. There's a church on every corner. Whatever your flavor is, there's a church for it. T-shirt wearing church, jean wearing church, robe wearing church, scooping church, teaching church, singing church, whatever you want, you got it. Go, but don't try to poison other people. And what happened is those people in that church south of here, they began to poison other people. And when the newspaper came to them, all of a sudden this pastor had preached them out of cocaine addiction, preached their families together, preached blind eyes open, preached barren wombs open. All of a sudden this wonderful pastor, you know the one that you say, oh, Bishop Hilliard, I'll never leave you. I'm submitted for my life. Would you count the scars on my back? Those same people, they turned on that pastor. And they didn't just turn on him in their heart, But they put all the kingdom church business all out in the street, and half of it was wrong. If you're going to talk about somebody, at least try to tell the truth. So let me put this in perspective. When I pray for Robert Schuller, when I pray for that pastor, when I pray for the pastor I'm speaking of now in the South, they've lost their property. Do you think I'm upset? Because we're not in a new building. I'm glad we're in a building at all. I wish somebody would get happy right now. I said, I'm so glad that we got on praying ground. I'm so glad that God's been faithful, and I will not be greedy in the Lord's time. It shall come